Hello friends. Do you suffer from a crippling crack rock addiction? Does your wife think that anything under a carrot is basically rock candy? Well, if so, I've got the AR for you. Now this is a hidden gem. It's basically an LMT. Well, if LMT were bought out by Alibaba and then they started making them in a sweatshop in China and then smuggled them in on a unsecured container ship, it's not good. It's not good. Anyway, this is the Radical Firearms RF-15. This is the cheapest AR I've ever touched. I paid $300 for it, but nowadays, after the 4-year-long puppet show, it's going for about $380, which, you know, there's your inflation. But what do you get for $300, $400? Well, this is the 18-inch DMR variant, so, you know, wildly accurate. This one in particular is an 18-inch chrome moly barrel with a 1-in-8 twist, and it is standard 1/2 by 28 thread, so you could put an $800 can on your $300 rifle if you want. I've done it. It sucks. Everything about this gun sucks to touch, and that's not a dig at Radical or the budget-minded folks, because let's be honest, I'm poor. I get it. But everything on the gun doesn't have to suck to touch just because I'm poor. So, for instance, this is a free-floated handguard. That's cool. You've got a full-length pick rail. That's great. 3, 6, and 9 M-lock. That's cool. The skeletonizing they've done, every single edge just wants to tear up my tender little fingers, and I don't like it. I got soft hands. I rub my wife's feet for an hour every night with $50 lotion. I keep my hands soft. I don't want to get them shredded on this chunky aluminum CNC extrusion phallus. You know, just ow, it hurts. In fact, the only thing on this thing that doesn't suck to touch is B5 Systems stock and a B5 Systems pistol grip. Those don't suck. Everything else is just unpleasant to touch. So, charging handle. It is like dragging a freaking boat anchor through the sand. It is just gritty. It is heavier than it needs to be, and there's too much friction. The selector lever, okay? It is ambi, so if you're wrong-handed, you can still suffer from it, but working it 3 or 4 times, you're gonna get a freaking blister on your thumb just from flicking it back and forth. It's too rough. It does not need to be that rough. I mean, take some time to finish your product, you know? It is what it is. I get it. Again, I'll get to that in a minute. It's cheap. Okay, you got your standard, you know, nothing to complain about with your mag release, nothing to complain about with your bolt release. Those are fine, I guess. The trigger. And it is so squishy. It is short, but it is heavy and squishy. And then that reset, the reset's not bad. It's short and it's very positive. It lets you know when it's in battery or when it's reset. So that's good. So I wish I could say that this is a gem, you know, a diamond in the rough. You know, it's a cheap alternative to a mid-range rifle like an M&P or a Ruger or something, but it's just the fit and finish on it is not there. I mean, to make this thing usable, you need a new trigger. You need a new handguard. You need a new charging handle. You need to lube it up, smack it around a little. And that's a lot of work, especially for somebody who's in the market for a $300 or $400 AR. They're not willing to do all that work. I sure wasn't whenever I bought this turd. I've shot it. Haven't shot it a ton because it's not fun. It's not a pleasant rifle to maneuver. I put this Vortex Strike Eagle on it, doubled the value of the rifle with that. And I squeezed 2-inch groups out of it, so it's not like it's horribly inaccurate. It's average, you know. But I would say, unless you're just desperate for an AR for some reason, and you need an AR, I would say save your money, buy an M&P 15 or a Ruger. You know, don't just go out and buy the first thing you see because somebody threw it in for a deal to get you to buy a VP9 match. That's what I did. Don't do that. Functionally, it's fine. Like I said, 2-inch groups isn't bad. That's combat accurate. That's fine. I haven't had a single malfunction with it, so it operates fine. It's got a mid-length gas tube and a heavy buffer, so it's soft shooting. But you could just do a lot better. Have someone build you an arrow, buy an M&P, something else, because the amount of finishing that is left off of this, I mean, my hands hurt just sitting here talking about it. It's not great. And I'd say save up a few $100 more and buy a better rifle. Anyway, that's my opinion. Sorry.